Morning, everybody. It's been a minute since I've made a little video, so I wanted to kind of put a little something together today. Tell you a little bit about where I'm at in life and where I'm headed and all that good stuff. Tell you a little bit about my injury and my little mishap a couple weeks ago on the bike. Ended up laying her down hard enough to get hurt, but not hard enough to damage the bike, thank goodness. I ended up tweaking my handlebars a little bit, and that was no fun. But spent the night in the hospital. Thought I broke my collarbone, ended up just tearing some ligaments in my shoulder. Still kind of hurts, still very uncomfortable, but it's not near as bad as I thought it was going to be. 43 years old, I'll be 44 this next month, September. Don't bounce back quite like I used to, so that's to be expected. I was coming down the driveway just to put my bike up in the barn, and ended up a little fawn jumped out of the bushes right beside me, startled me. I was barely moving first gear, ended up ditching the front end, and it just slammed me down on the ground like super hard. Knocked the wind out of me, made me feel like I was not a youngster anymore. So anyway, got the bike up, got it put up. Thought it was way worse than it was. Thought I'd bent the triple clamps. I did not realize they were rubber mounted, so thank goodness for that. Took my tail between my legs, went inside, started getting worse and worse and worse. So I finally drove myself to the hospital and was like, well, you know, at least need to know if something's broken or not. So got x-rayed, nothing was broke. According to their doctor there was probably some torn ligaments or something. He said just, you know, be easy on it for the next couple of weeks. So I'm back to about 80% now. I can ride. It's not that big of a deal. Me and my son did about 250 miles last weekend. I'm a photographer in my side hustle I do wedding photography and things like that. So yesterday I spent all day in downtown Charlotte doing engagements and family portraits, and then today, this evening, I'm supposed to be doing a bridal session right down the road from here for a good friend of mine, but it's raining. Well, it's not raining, it's drizzling. It's kind of stopped now, so I think I'm fixing to take off. But wanted to kind of go over that and go over kind of how life's been going here lately, and just kind of do a quick little easy ride around town. So let's get on the bike. All right, and we're off. Slight drizzle, and right here in the driveway is where I busted my tail. A little fawn jumped out from right over here somewhere, and this is very slick and very ruddy, and ended up grabbing a little too much front brake and ditched it. So ended up installing the crash bars that I already had and just had been putting off installing, and scratched up my fairing a little bit, of course. So now it's got a little bit of a love spot on the left side, which is fine. It doesn't bother me. But it's bent my bars slightly, which didn't really used to bother me on a dirt bike or on a big dual sport, but it was just enough to bug me. I rode it around a little bit and decided to go ahead and do the Pro Taper upgrade, which I think was a good move. Definitely a more aggressive angle, and I kind of like that. So we're just gonna go for a little easy ride around town. Hopefully I don't get rained on. It's already been raining. Just want to get out and ride a few minutes, man. Like, life's been kind of sucky here lately. Without going into too much detail, it's just, you know, problems at home, you know, with my family, and problems with my parents. As far as like my dad, it's just kind of been weighing on me. And like I said, I don't do a whole lot of these videos, or really any of them, to gain subscribers or anything like that. I just really want to have something to look back on, to kind of be able to tell my story and have my kids be able to look at it. Not that I don't want subscribers. Hell, I'd love for you to subscribe. Like, subscribe, you know, that does give me a little bit of motivation to kind of move forward and keep doing this. But it's not something I'm going after. I'm not trying to, you know, make money with these or anything like that. I'm just kind of trying to share my story. Not that I'm that interesting or anything, but I feel like I owe it to myself to be able to look back on it later and say, hey, you know, this was your life, in case I ever do to get to the point where I forget. Start getting sunny. Doesn't appear to be sunny. is Oakboro. Nothing too exciting. Let's ride through Oakboro real quick, see what's going on, if anything. Still a little drizzle. What the world? My thingy ain't working. There it goes. Huh. Well, that was easy. I guess. We'll see. If you've got one of these bikes, you will notice that they vibrate quite a bit. So one thing that you can actually do is to mount, if you've got a rigid mount. What I did was I bought some of the little clear gel feet for like little rubber feet that you would stick on something to keep it from slipping or whatever. Little round rubber feet. 3M makes them, I think, from I got them from Walmart. Anyway, I mounted those in between the mount and the GPS, I guess, attachment in the mount is where I mount them. So these screws are holding those down, and they give it just enough shock absorption to keep this from vibrating to the point of no return, which they're pretty known for. I've had it set up that way for probably, I think I put it on this bike at like maybe, I don't know, 100 miles, and it's lasted 2,644 miles so far. So that's pretty good for what it is, I think. I'm gonna go over here and see what this thing says. Oh, I'm not supposed to be in here, but they'll be all right. Of course, people can't leave nothing alone without damaging stuff. Thought they were gonna end up doing some hiking trails or something at some point, and they haven't done that yet. So anyway, back on the road, and it's back off. So I don't know, I'll have to revisit that here in a second. Definitely going to be a hard couple months for me. I think that with some of the things I've got going on in my personal life here in the next few weeks, it's going to be a lot more riding, a lot less stressful things. I plan on trying to document some of that. I don't know how good it'll be. I don't know if it's going to be interesting to watch. Honestly, I really don't care. Like I said, this stuff's for me. But I think it helps my mental health because, let's face it, lately I've not been taking good care of myself. I've not been responsible with my health, with my mental health. I need to do better. Got a lot of different things I need to change. crossing Rocky River, different areas. What the fuck are you doing down here? I think it's become fairly customary on this little YouTube channel that most of my rides are interrupted with a meal break. Why should this be any different? Let's run here and get us a quesadilla. Check, check, checky, check.